Go live. All right. We are live. Beautiful. All right. Hopefully, my Wi-Fi doesn't screw me up too bad tonight and I don't get all glitchy on TikTok. I did not glitch, by the way, on YouTube at all last night. Strange, I know, but I did not glitch. Let's see. What does this say? It says on YouTube, moderation helps everyone feel safe. To build a positive live chat experience for you and your viewers, choose who can participate. Set a delay between messages. Hide or put people in timeout. Manage messages held for review and add moderators to your channel. Well, now, isn't that an interesting way of thinking? More likes can attract more viewers. Thank you, by the way. I appreciate it. I'm already getting likes. I love that. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. So moderation, who are the moderators, by the way? The quality control people at Google. Well, you're going to be shocked. Good evening. You're going to be shocked to hear that I saw several of their resumes, and a whole bunch of them had worked for a 3-letter agency. Good. Yeah, a whole bunch of them worked for a 3-letter agency. Starts with C and ends with A. You know who I'm talking about. And that's who's running YouTube for you. I'm telling you, folks, when the first time I heard deep state, I thought, boy, that is some wacko redneck bullshit right there. But now I'm not so sure. I don't know if I really argue with the idea of a deep state. If your definition, of course, depending on what it is, if your definition, got some people on YouTube already, that's outstanding. If your definition of deep state are people who have power, who aren't elected and can stay for as long as they like, then yes, there really is a deep state. I mean, if you think about it, what does deep state mean? What is that term? It means people with an enormous amount of power who influence our everyday lives in ways we may or may not appreciate or consent to, and they're unelected. They owe us no explanations about what they're doing. That, to me, is what the deep state is. And if that's your definition, then hell yes, there's a deep state. I'm not just saying that because I'm wearing my redneck outfit today. Yep, I'm a redneck and I'm proud of it. What is this? Oh, that's freaky. Somebody got censored for saying that. Good definition. Your cactus is, I thought only Henry noticed that shit. Heavily connected with their own circle in order to stay in control. Yeah, that's a pretty damn good definition too. All right, I'm turning on your cactus here. Come on up. As soon as I picked it up, it knew it was in for an ass whooping if it didn't come on, so it popped right on. All right. What are we going to talk about? Well, let's talk about this. I've got a great idea. The idea is actually being floated now, and by Donald Trump. Apparently mentioned something about this, about starting backing the currency and or having an open cyber exchange for Bitcoin. Wow. All right. That's kind of cool. I like it. And he also introduced somebody that was in one of his town hall meetings as an expert on the economy, who he would be very happy to have in his cabinet. And here's the interesting thing. She's extremely pro gold standard. And, you say to yourself, gold standard, how the hell could you ever go back on a gold standard? It would actually be incredibly easy. See, it says in the Constitution that the United States Congress values the sets the value of coinage, and it's totally independent of what anybody else says. So, if hypothetically, as crazy as this sounds, you said, okay, gold is $150,000 an ounce, bam, we no longer have a national debt. We now have assets that match our debts. Can you even wrap your head around that? We would literally be debt free. Huh. And how hard would that be to do? Wouldn't be hard at all. And the reason I bring this up now is because I just found out today that the debt that we will be paying this year, $882 billion. That's $2 billion every single day that we're paying in debt. What? Yeah, we've paid $2 billion. Well, the price would be, I mean, if you had gold, I mean, right now you have to understand that the United States government has about 8,000 tons of gold. That's 8,000 metric tons of gold. If they revalued it at $150,000 an ounce, the United States of America would be debt free. Boom, done, just like that. And any other government that wanted to sell us their gold, we'd say, sure, we'll buy it for $150,000 per ounce, and we could pay for it. Now, here's the interesting part, though. Whoever pulls the trigger on that idea first has the most stable currency on earth instantly. Well, we all are indebted to each other. That's right. Would it affect inflation? Yeah, it would actually zero out inflation, because you can't have inflation on an economy that has a gold standard. You can have deflation, but you can't have inflation. You might be able to pull off 1%, but remember, you're not printing money out of thin air. You're not borrowing money to create money. And that's what we're doing. We're borrowing money with bonds in order to give to the Federal Reserve to print money at interest for us. What? Wait a minute. What? Yeah. So every dollar that you have, that if you have a dollar in your hand, here, I'll give you an example. Hundreds. Okay. Hundreds. Okay. Here, I got a dollar. When the Federal Reserve created this piece of ass wipe right here, it said, okay, here's a dollar, America. You owe us a dollar and fill in the blank. So 150K, what silver? Probably $70,000 an ounce. No, excuse me. That's wrong. $7,000 an ounce. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Because it would be about 40 to 1. So this is not what you think it is. This is not money. This is a little tiny bond. That's what this is. This is a bond, and somebody borrowed the money to create this and has to pay it back, but they can't pay this back. You know why we can't pay this back? Because this isn't enough to pay back the money that we owe for the creation of it. Oh, okay, so we'll pay this back, but here, we'll just take another one of these. There, now we'll pay you back. Oh, no, because now you owe us interest on this one too. Well, how the fuck am I supposed to pay that back? You're not. Ever. Oh, well, wait. Here's $5. I'll pay off these two with this 5. Oh, shit, I had to borrow this 5, so the interest on this 5 now. And then, so now I owe interest on 7. You see how this works? You can never get out of this. This is the most brilliant legal Ponzi scheme ever created in the history of humanity. This is toilet paper. This is ass wipe. It's nothing. The reason it doesn't say money anywhere on this is because money is actually a commodity. Money is something that has an absolute value. It's a store of wealth. That's the definition of money. A store of wealth. There's no store of wealth in this. Put this under your pillow for 50 years, and you know what it'll buy you? $7? A gumball. No shit. Think about it. I used to be able to buy a couple of candy bars on my way to school with a quarter. Now, here's the thing. If it were a silver quarter, that silver quarter today would be worth $5, actually more than $5. Can you still buy 2 candy bars for $5? Yes, which means you can still buy a candy bar for the same amount of money, but you can't buy it with the same amount of bullshit legal tender because they just keep making more of these. And as they make more, well, okay, so let's print up one of these. Well, then let's print up another one of these. Let's print up another one of these. Well, shit, we owe money on these. Let's get some more of these. Oh, bullshit. Now we got to print up a bunch of these. Okay, so fuck, but we got to pay the interest off on this too. It's just impossible to ever break out of the prison that's called fiat currency. Now, if they printed this shit at zero interest, if we didn't have to pay anybody on this, then we wouldn't have inflation. You can't have inflation if we're buying products that have a store of value in them with a product that has a store of value in it. It's that simple. So what costs, well, you're not working for nothing. You're working for the government. And that's why I find it so fucking ironic that people don't understand. Tax day? Do you know what tax day is? Do you guys really get what tax day is? Why is it April 15th? Because with all of the taxes that they put on your income and your home and your car and your gasoline and your fucking candy bars, you literally work until April 15th of every year for them. Only after that point can you actually start to keep any of that money. Brilliant. That's fucking brilliant. Let's make tax day the day when people break even. So for the first several months of the year, who do you work for? Who does all of your money go to? The United States government. And what do they do with it? They piss it away on things you don't want them to. How is that system fair? Who signed up for that? Yeah, the cactus is looking a little peaked. Well, I mean, obviously, we've got to support Ukraine because, before we were supporting them, everybody's talking about how crooked they are. But then once we started supporting them, they became the most honest regime in the world. That's why they've gotten rid of voting. They've gotten rid of the Catholic Church. They've gotten rid of Christian churches. And they literally jail people, even American citizens, who say anything that they don't like. That's the regime that's in power now. If you don't think I'm telling you the truth, look it up on Google. And we're sending them hundreds of billions of dollars. If you don't include the interest that we owe on those hundreds of billions, because they're not. But how much interest do we have to pay? Because remember, those are bonds. So 30 years from now, yeah, I'll still be around. I'll probably be old by then, but I'll still be around. But I won't be working anymore. So I'm not paying that shit back. Now, the money that we borrowed in the 90s, yeah, we're paying that back. And it's already up to $882 billion per year. We spend more on interest than we do defending ourselves in this horribly scary world where we want to go to war with everybody. How is that possible? We're patient? I'm going to say we're fat, lazy, and sick, just the way they want us. But that's okay, because at some point, but not sending any troops. Are you serious? They just literally sent 40,000 troops to the Middle East. They just sent 200 troops to Israel to be in a combat zone. We have thousands of people all around the world being shot at as we speak. Oh, Earl, you just got censored, baby. I'm going to read it anyway. Why do we need Trump to declare bankruptcy and start over? No, can't declare bankruptcy, man. No. Can't do it. Let's see, taxable. Yep. Okay. Highest, the largest employer is the government, and that's never good. That's why we're failing right now. 100% of the media is backing Harris. That's kind of changing, actually, if you think about it. Saturday Night Live, very, 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 very liberal, very progressive. And they really made her look like an asshole on Saturday night, which is great. Look, when the Democrats decide that they've had enough of you, that means something. But every time she opens her mouth, she says something incredibly stupid. And so it's just a matter of, do you want somebody who has an incredibly temperamental, egotistical, dangerous personality? Okay, you don't have a choice because both of our candidates fit that. Do you want someone who understands the economy and has at least been in business? Yes. Trump at McDonald's, that was very clever. That was very clever. And it shows a side of him that we need to see more. Wow. Granddaughter is in the Navy. Good for you. You can be proud of that. I don't care if it's a DEI woke Navy or not. It takes fucking balls to join, period. Mental balls, obviously. But yeah, that's great, man. I'm glad to hear it. We need more people. Of course, the issue here is right now, this DEI thing. Look, I can tell you as a former Marine that a lot of the guys that were in my unit were either racist, sexist, assholes, whatever they were. But they knew how to fight. That's their niche. Let them have their niche. Let the people that you're not going to fix because they're just mean as shit and they're worthless in any other capacity, give them to my Marines, okay? Because it doesn't matter if they're racist or sexist or misogynist or whatever they are. They all bleed the same color. And that's really the key to it. You don't pick Marines based on their ability to assimilate into every culture. We don't assimilate. Go to every single military base, every Marine Corps base in the fucking country, and I'll show you a group of people who don't like Marines. In Oceanside, they hated us. Why do they hate Marines in Oceanside? Because Marines are assholes. That's why. That's what we get paid for. We are trained professional killers. I don't give a shit if you're straight or gay, but you better fucking shoot straight or we got a problem. That's it. So this whole, we've got to put women in charge. Why? If there's a woman who is tough as nails, Tulsi Gabbard, I love you, then yeah, let her be in command. But don't put her there just because she's a woman. Put her there because she's a commander. That's the key with all of this. It's just driving me nuts. China Lake. We did a lot of weapons testing out there, man. Don't go wandering around and step on a bomb or something. I like Carrie, but I got to tell you, man, Tulsi, that's my gal. I mean, look, I don't want to say that I'm arrogant. I mean, obviously, I'm good looking and I'm smart as shit, and I've got a great personality, and I'm huge and I'm strong. But I like to think I'm also humble. Having said that, that's a woman and weird. Thank you. Yes. And a nerd. There is a nerd trapped in here somewhere. But that's a woman that I have a lot of respect for. I would follow her into and then back out of the gates of hell. The reason I say back out again is because I know that if we went to hell, we'd kick their ass. Tulsi is a Russian. Well, then I want to go to Russia because they're tough. No, I was a jet mechanic. Okay. Wait, see, I don't make fun of. There are certain people in the Navy you don't make fun of. The guys who keep your fucking close air support flying, yeah, you don't make fun of them. They're good dudes. And humor. Oh, I forgot. I gotta, yeah. Smart and personality. Well, it's great. Yeah, you know what? Don't worry about it. You know, look, when that's why when people would try to, talk to me about Christianity, when I first got out of the Marine Corps, I was like, really? Look, man, you can't threaten me with hell because I've been there and the food ain't as bad as they say. I've been through hell. Don't threaten me with it. But then some smart, really beautiful young woman got a hold of me and said, well, what if I could show you a better way? And I was like, oh, you're not threatening me with hell? All right. Uh-oh. The cactus. Tell people about the debt clock. The debt clock saying silver is worth $7.20 an ounce. That's what it should be. That's what it should be at. Okay. So we all know that we all know that everything's crazy town right now. We also know, and maybe you don't know this, but if you don't know this, here's a hoot for you. Do you know what the United States government says gold's worth? Yes, I was in the United States Marine Corps. And yes, I like to eat crayons. And yes, I have broken a chem light, shaken it up, and then poured it through a sock so that I could drink it, and then gone pee 100 meters downrange just to see if my buddies could actually see me going pee in the middle of the night. And you can. Once your kidneys filter it, it still glows, baby. Oh, that's you can't really talk about that, Eric, on TikTok. That's not that's one of those things that will probably get your channel completely shut down. I find very few women pressures other involvements. I know, Lee, thank you for pointing that out. I saw that in the reflection. What in the world? You know what? It's not the light, it's the switch. Doing a little magic there. Okay, good. It's gonna. Ooh, that's bright. You can really see that in the background now. By the way, for those of you, your cactus light. Nope, it's on now. Could be the operator. Yeah. The government value of gold. You're gonna love this. Enjoying that the Earth is flat. Yes, actually, it's so much easier to ride a motorcycle on. Government values gold right now. The statutory value of gold, according to the United States of America, is $42.20 an ounce. I'll repeat that. We've got 9,000, just a little under 9,000 metric tons of gold, and the United States Treasury Department values it. The statutory value is $42.20. Why? I don't know. But if they simply revalued it to, let's say, I don't know. So if I buy 5,000 in silver, what's your estimate in 5 years? Well, let's just say that, if it goes up the way it's gone up in the last year, let me look, I'll tell you. Because it will. For the next 5 years, I really believe that it will go up. Okay, so it's up 47%. Yeah, so that would be $75K next year. Add 35 to that, so that's 10. In 2 years, 5, so 15. Then 7,500, which would be 22.5. So somewhere in the neighborhood of between $25,000 and $30,000. Well, 20K an ounce for gold, yes. For silver, it should be. Realistically, based on the amount of paper money that's out there, no sleeves. I know this is my redneck. This is my This is my superhero costume. I am a redneck. Um, and I'm going to actually write a book called The Redneck Roadmap to Success. Now, that is a fact. I will have to get a ghostwriter, but I will be honest about it. I won't lie and say that I wrote it myself because I'm so fucking smart. I'm relatively smart, but my superpower is I can really, really, really think abstract shit. Let's see. Will there be money then? Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I believe that, and here's the thing. Let me play a clip for you because this is something that I really want you to understand. Countries have owned gold all around the world for many, many years. Okay. You don't bring gold back to your own country because it becomes an issue. If you're in Uganda, if you're in Ghana, if you're in Nepal or wherever it is, if you have 500 metric tons of gold somewhere, it takes an enormous amount to protect it. And it's incredibly difficult to ship. So what if you decide to sell some? Well, now you've got a real problem on your hands because you have to ship that gold on what, a rail car? The slow boat to China, so to speak? I mean, so people have always agreed to just keep it in the LBMA, the London Bullion Market Association vaults. They are massive vaults underneath London, and they're considered incredibly safe, or COMEX here in the United States. All of a sudden, countries around the world said, no, that's okay. We're going to bring that back to us. Now, that's a very expensive proposition. And there's only one reason that you would want to buy hundreds of tons of gold and then have it shipped to you. Let me play a clip of Schechter talking. He's a guy who's he's very knowledgeable about silver. And these are the countries. Listen closely to this list. Why are they bringing it home? Because they want to have something to back their currency. Unless you believe that London is about to be nuked, which it's not, there is no other reason. Why spend the money? Why transport it? God forbid you want to sell it. Now you have to transport it, back to the LBMA? Because most countries are going to say, no, just put it in the LBMA. That's where they go to buy gold. No, it would actually have to be $150,000 an ounce. And that is something that the United States Congress can do. It says right in the Constitution that the Congress sets the value of coinage. So they can literally set the value of our gold at whatever they want. Now, right now, they've set the value at $42. Now, that's idiotic. Why would you set the value at $42? They haven't revalued it for decades. Why not? It would make our balance sheet look a lot better, but they just don't want to focus on gold. They don't want anyone to focus on the value of gold because gold is extremely, extremely dangerous. Gold and silver are the most dangerous assets you can possibly own, especially if you're a central bank. Because LBMA, the London Bullion Market Association, they are the ones who have the massive, massive vaults underneath London that are full of basically, well, except for those countries just listed, the entire world's bullion. There's COMEX, there's the Fed, there's the Bank of International Settlements, BIS. Um, there are a couple other banks that hold gold for people all around the world. Well, Nixon did take us off the gold standard, and he said, if you're a person who buys, and you know what, fuck it, let's do this. Let's do this because this is important. Um, okay, now let's look at the speech that he gave. Oh, stop. Okay, August 15th, 1971, a date that shall live in infamy. Okay, you ready for this? Because I want you guys to hear this. It's only a minute and 19. Wait, whoa, hold on. That's a little short. Okay, this 4 minutes is going to change your life. Listen very carefully to this because there are some things in here. Remember that figures never lie, but liars always figure. There are some things in here that are going to pass by a lot of you, but I'll go back and point to them. He's very, very careful about the way he couches how going off the gold standard is good for us. And listen very carefully to the words he chooses, not just what he says overall, but listen to the exact words he picks because they tell the entire story. Uh-oh. Are you fucking kidding me? If you're one of the overwhelming majority of Americans who buy products made in America, then you don't have to worry. Now, of course, if you buy a foreign car, if you buy something made overseas, then yeah, of course, because of manipulation and overprinting of money, that the cost could go up. He's telling the truth, isn't he? He's not fucking lying. He's just saying it in a way that nobody really understands what's about to happen next. And who was it? What president was famous for finally breaking through and cutting a trade deal with the Chinese government? It wasn't Johnson, it wasn't Ford, and it wasn't Carter, certainly wasn't Kennedy, wasn't Eisenhower, not Truman. It was this motherfucker right here. As long as you only buy American made goods, you're fine. And then what exactly did they do? they immediately start destroying American-made goods. They immediately started importing goods from other countries. The good news is, folks, Nixon didn't lie when he said what he said. Because at the time, most people did buy American, because you could buy American. Can you buy American now? Name a car company that actually manufactures at least 85% of their vehicle in the United States. I'll go first, Toyota. Not Jeep, not Chrysler. I'm sorry, Stellantis. Most Fords, most Chevys. Nope, sorry. Most Dodges. Toyota. Yeah. Temporary. You like that? See, that's the thing right there. They didn't lie to us exactly. But they didn't really tell us the whole story, did they? So, here we are. What is it, 53 years later, almost 54 years later, and they have absolutely destroyed the United States economy. Thank you, Mr. Nixon. Appreciate that. That's pretty crazy. Wow, look at that. 7 people on my live stream on YouTube, and I feel like I must be glitching because I'm not seeing any comments anymore. No comments, no likes, no nothing. Everything just froze up. The only thing I can see is, now wait a minute. Does that say? Still there. That's interesting. No comments, no oh, yeah, it's frozen. Oh, there we go. All right. Let's see if we can go back to, no, nothing's coming through. Go figure. I wonder if I hit this, nope. Well, that didn't do anything. Well, I might be frozen. So Rodney, are you saying that I'm still on TikTok? Because it's kind of looking a little weird, man. When nothing happens for a while, it starts to make me a little bit nervous. Okay, good. I'm still here. So, it was a Capricorn, the money sign. Oh, I didn't know the Capricorn was the money sign. I'm a Capricorn. Interesting. Maybe I was sent here to try to fix his clusterfuck. You never know. Okay, so what have we learned? We've learned that gold and silver are skyrocketing right now because everybody's finally getting to the point where they're realizing that the game is afoot. People are moving away from this fiat bullshit. Nobody wants American debt, most of which is held by foreign countries right now, and they don't like it, and they're offloading it. Well, what happens when they're selling their debt? And then we try to sell our debt. Because remember, we still have to sell bonds every week. We've got to have a bond sale. And why do we have to do that? Because we're spending $1 billion. No, excuse me. It's got to be more than that because we're spending $1 trillion every 30 days. No, it's 90. $1 trillion every 90 days. Okay, so that's 300 billion, give or take. 330 billion, 330 billion per month. Well, that's a nice round number, isn't it? So we're spending about $10 billion a day. Not liking that. $10 billion a day. I remember as a kid, I think that was our national debt. So, you know what? Let's go back and check. If for those of you who don't know about the U.S. debt clock, I'm sorry. It's usdebtclock.org. Go to it. Very important. All right, let's go back in the time machine. Let's go back to, it goes back to 1980. What was our national debt? Wow, in 1980, it was let's see, 100,000 millions. It was $999 billion. It wasn't even 1 trillion. And that was because of the Vietnam War, by the way. That's when the war machine had really just gotten a hold of the government by the balls and said, "You will do what we want." And of course, the United States government, the federal government, when it comes to somebody smaller than them, like states, they're bullies. But as most bullies are, when it comes to somebody bigger, like the War Department, which is what it should be called, they kowtow immediately. So back then, the population was 100 million people less. The workforce was almost the same as it is now. Fuck, that's sad. That's really sad. That many years ago, and it was almost the same. That's not pretty. Let's see. Living in poverty. There were 29 million people living in poverty. That's very interesting. Okay, so 29 million people living in poverty. Let's go back to today. How many people are living in poverty now? Let's see, living in poverty, 44 million. So it's almost doubled, even though the actual amount of people in the country has only gone up by a third. The amount of people in poverty has doubled. Wow. I'm curious about something. I want to go back. I'm going to use the time machine again. Right now, as far as bankruptcies, we have 346,000 bankruptcies so far this year, and 123,000 foreclosures. Now let's go back to 2004. Shit, they didn't have these numbers yet. They didn't have how many people were. Oh, look at that. The numbers just changed. People came back online. Outstanding. No, it's not. Restart your live. Shit. All right. I'm going to restart my live. So I'll see you guys in just a minute. Let's see. Well, wait a minute. Let's give it a second here, because if I can read that, maybe, just maybe, it's working. All right, Squeaky. If you're telling me I'm on, then good. Okay, good deal. Now, here's the thing. Let's look at, let's go back let's jump forward to 2008. Do we have a little bit? No, we still don't have, this is the old debt clock. And unfortunately, they didn't really come out with all the really bitchin' statistics until just recently in the last several years. So let's go to 2016. Nope. It's still old school. 2020. Shit, it's still old school. All right, well, there's not much we can do about that. 2024. Okay. 2024. So we have right now in unfunded liabilities, not including the national debt, Okay, so keep in mind, I'm not talking about the national debt. Yeah, repeat everything I said in the last 5 minutes. Okay. The amount of people from 1980 until now, we had about 230 million people. Now we've got about 330 million people. So it's gone up by a third. But people living in poverty has almost doubled. Didn't go up by a third. So more people are living in poverty now than ever before. U.S. homeless. There's about it. Well, it says 1 million, but I really think that is underestimating the amount of homeless by a huge amount. A huge amount. So, let's see. The average person in the bottom 50% of wealth has a net worth of $37,000. The top 1% of wealth in the United States has a median value, a median net worth of $18,880,000. A little bit of a disparity there. Oh, and by the way, bankruptcies right now are skyrocketing. We're looking at 346,500 bankruptcies so far this year. And as far as foreclosures, yeah, they're beginning to skyrocket again too. 123,000 of them this year so far, with a couple of months left to go. Yeah, and these are going to be the worst months. I can tell you that right now. Oh, shit. Okay, I was wrong. The numbers I gave you were wrong. Wow, it's going up so fast. I can't fucking believe it. The interest on our debt right now, just the interest on our debt, is not $880 billion. It is now $972 billion, 800 million. And that's going up very, very fast. Those numbers are just spinning. Let's see. Poor people only, yeah, no way. There's only a million. Poor people can't afford bankruptcy. They just disappear. That's exactly right. So we are ever forever slaves. Or do you think people will stand up? We have to stand up. We have to. Well, thank you, Israel. Thank you, Ukraine. Thank you, immigrants that we spend, what was it last year? $65 billion helping illegal immigrants get housing after kicking disabled veterans out of that same housing. That did happen. They were paying $85 a night for hotels in New York State for disabled veterans. They came along and said, well, we actually will pay you $115 a night if you house illegal immigrants instead. And so all of the hotels in New York kicked, and I believe New Jersey as well, kicked all of the disabled veterans out so they could make room for illegal immigrants. That happened in the United States of America in this century. Like, this wasn't 200 years ago when the country was new and broke and, basically there was no such thing as social welfare. That was now. And that's exactly what I'm doing there, Mark. I'm telling the truth. I actually watched that on several news channels, not just Fox, but on CNN and a few others, because there were a lot of people that were pissed, including Democrats, which you obviously are one of. So you should be really pissed about that too. Why were they doing that? Well, because if you're a business owner, if you've got a 100-room hotel and it's half full of disabled veterans at $85 a night, you get them out of there and you put in illegal immigrants, and DHS will pay you $115. That's an extra $30 per night. It's all about money. Jordan Peterson and genius IQs. Yes. Yeah, well, that's true. That is absolutely true. Yeah, it's to take the best and the most courageous Americans, the guys who went and fought and got wounded and are now disabled, to take them and turn them out on the street. That's insane. Yeah, well, that's the problem is, a lot of these hotels are owned by big corporations and they don't give a shit. Look, if you were stupid enough to join the Marine Corps like I was, well, that's your fucking problem. You should have gone to Harvard and gotten your master's in business administration. If you couldn't hack it there, you could at least go to Stanford. It ain't Ivy League, but it'll do. Yeah, I grew up with a lot of people who talked like that. It's like, oh, USC. Yeah, well, if you got an MBA from them, we wouldn't hire you, but somebody would. A guy at Morgan Stanley actually told me that when he told me he wouldn't hire me. He said, look, man, you're not qualified. And I said, okay, well, I appreciate that. So, thank you. Because I wasn't qualified. And he said, but I'll make a few phone calls for you, because the guy who sent me in there was a multi-billionaire and my mentor. And he said, hire this kid. And this guy said, look, I can't. I'll lose my job, but I'll get you hired. And he got me hired all right at the very, very, very top of a different firm. And I fucking hated it. Silver. Look, silver's doing okay. Yes, I'm looking up silver. Look, it's only up 10% this month, or 47% this in the last year, or 94% in the last 5 years. 94% in 5 years. Now, that's not bad. What do I think about Iran and Israel, or Iran and Israel? I don't think about them at all, because that ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. Iran's not stupid. Look, you blow up their oil production. Do you know how fast they can blow up Saudi's oil production? In minutes, not days, not hours, in minutes. Take a look at how close they are. The Strait of Hormuz is a little bit wider than my shoulders. My shoulders are pretty big, though. That's not the point. The point is, they can destroy Saudi's oil production instantly. Would you like to pay $250 for a barrel of oil? Because we would. That's why we jumped in there and said, hey, Israel, shut the fuck up. Stop already. You're about to do something that's going to literally bankrupt the United States. And of course, being Israel, they said, so what? We're not the United States. Go fuck yourself. By the way, we want more weapons now. Did we say now? Because we meant now. That's, look, when you're the redheaded stepchild, which America apparently is these days, with zero respect from anyone internationally, you get kicked around. That's why Zelensky just said, look, either you send me troops or you send me nukes. Oh, you didn't know he said that? Yeah, he actually said that. He's demanding that the United States and NATO send troops into Ukraine, or at least give him some nuclear weapons. You can't make this shit up. They're coming up with other housing for veterans. We need the immigrants to do the work. And oh my God, really? Wow, did you actually say that? They censored you, Dimitri. You said that's false. That is really, really, I don't know what you said that's false too, because clearly only an idiot would think that if Israel blew up Iran's oil production and Iran attacked Saudi Arabia, not because they hate Saudi Arabia, but because they hate the United States. And if you blow up Saudi Arabia's oil production, if you hit their oil, guess what? It's $200 a barrel overnight. Let's see. Did he say that from his big new house in England? Oh, you know about those new houses and yachts and whatnot? Yeah. Obviously not, but an actor. Yeah, he is. Absolutely. What about the North Koreans now having been sent to Russia? I don't know what the hell that's about. I do not understand that. That's crazy. Zelensky asking for troops and nukes is false. Okay, I will read the article to you, since you obviously don't have enough common sense to trust me yet. Oh, God. All right, let's see here. It's probably going to be on page 3 by now. But since Dimitri doesn't remember what happened the last time he argued with me, we will go ahead and make him look like he doesn't read much. Page 3 by now. All right. This was This is for entertainment purposes only. TikTok. Yes. Let's see. Yeah, the article actually made me laugh. I didn't take it very seriously because this is we're not giving Zelensky either one. Let's see. This is not the one. Which is this? Ukraine's manpower problem. Zelensky's only victory plan is NATO boots on the ground. And this is him speaking. Where is he? Presented this week to NATO officials and both candidates, Trump and Harris. Let's see. The key obstacle is manpower, which Ukraine does not have because they've all been killed. The problem is not blatantly admitted, but implied by numerous officials. U.S. politicians have been pressured. Let's see. Oh boy. Ukraine just lowered their conscription age again. And they've also raised it. They are now recruiting. The average age of somebody recruited is 49 years old. Let's see. User with a bunch of numbers. You just got censored. It says, libtards, hysterical emotions always trumping facts. I trust you got a year listening to you. You were right about gold and silver. I've invested. Awesome. Wait, did you buy from me? You better buy from me. You don't have to buy from me, but if you don't, you're going to pay too much. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Ukrainian army. There's a picture of Ukrainian. Oh, it's a video of Ukrainians kidnapping somebody off the street for the military police are throwing them into vans and conscripting them because Ukraine's killing it. They're winning. Silver is the ultimate insurance. No question about it. Let's see. It's Slovakia. Slovakia will not support Zelensky's, quote, senseless victory plan, unquote. Apparently, he's not as popular as he once was. I don't think everybody, Hungary's Orban blasts Zelensky's more than frightening victory plan. It's the shortest path to World War III. Okay, well, let's find the one where he's demanding nukes. Let's see. Russia poised to cripple Ukraine's steel industry by seizing vital coal mine. Gee whiz, that's not surprising at all to anybody who's been watching what's going on. Silver's explosive breakout. No surprises there, folks. We've been talking about this. So Turkey seeks record defense budget, readying for regional war. I can't talk about it, but I already know what Turkey's up to. And if you don't, you better figure it out quick because they're not just idly standing by and watching. Aha, here it is. Are you ready, Dimitri? I would buy from you, but you have a minimum amount. Oh, 2 ounces a week? Cool, man. Hey, you know what? 2 ounces a week is awesome. Because think about it. It's 52 weeks in a year, I'm pretty sure. That's enough. Like, you do that for 5 years, you've got a pretty decent amount. All right, so here it is. Let's see. NATO membership or nuclear weapons. Zelensky stuns allies with demand. Would you like me to read the whole article, Dimitri, or are you satisfied that you're an idiot and you should read more? Look, there's this thing. We call it a computer. You hook it up wirelessly now to this thing called the interweb, and then you go out and you research. Now, his point was that in a conversation with Donald Trump, I said, this is our situation. What way out do we have? Either Ukraine will have nuclear weapons, which for us will be a defense, or we'll need to have some sort of an alliance besides NATO. But today, We have no other alliance, Zelensky said. Dmitry, Dmitry, Bueller, Bueller. NATO countries today are not at war. NATO countries are not fighting. In NATO countries, people are still alive, thank God. This is why we chose NATO, not nuclear weapons. And Donald Trump heard me. He said, we have a just argument. He didn't choose nuclear weapons. That's funny. I don't think he had a choice because nobody's stupid enough to give that clown a nuke. Let's see. Which states have suffered? None except Ukraine, who gave up their nuclear weapons. All of them. No, only Ukraine. Who is fighting today? Ukraine. Do you see why he's making the argument that he needs a nuclear weapon? Dmitry? Dmitry? Anything? Nothing? Okay. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye now. Let's see. What the hell? That's crazy. I just got a message on my computer. That's never happened before. I wondered what that dinging sound was. Interesting. Oh, you guys froze again, huh? All right. Well, shit. Live streaming on TikTok is becoming a little bit more difficult. What? Look at all these people. Yes, but screen smaller on phone, but still better. Let's see. On TikTok. Wait. Much better than lagging on TikTok. Yes. Yes, it is. Luke moved to YouTube from TikTok to see how this works. Awesome. Let's see. I moved from TikTok. Whoa, 18 million. 18 million what? 18 million, I don't know. Gotta watch Kevin Bridges, comedian, on paying off government debt. Yeah, I'll bet. If he's a comedian, he's probably got a pretty good take on this. It doesn't surprise me. Everything is so upside down in this country. I work for an oil company, so you know. They're same for many professions in oil. Yeah, bottom line is you do not want to fuck with the oil supply because that'll hurt the United States in a way that we are not coming back from. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I appreciate that, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. I'm cutting out on TikTok, and I don't think that's an accident. Maybe. Could be. It could just be that I have a really, really bad reception, but I don't think that's it. I will by next week have high-speed internet right here in the office, not across the driveway. So at that point, we'll have some fun. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna call it. I've been on here for an hour. We know silver continue to go up. So hold your breath. Hope that it slows down a little bit. Yeah, it is better on YouTube. So let's hope that silver slows down just a wee bit tomorrow. And then all of you guys who texted and called and everything last week, I'll give you some prices. But I just don't want to buy into a shitstorm and then have you guys pay way too much and then have it go down by, $1.50 the next day. That's no fun. Although, when it's at 75, does anybody give a shit? Not really, but still. If we can kind of game the system a little bit and get an extra few ounces per order, few ounces is a few ounces. That matters. So, all right, goodbye, TikTok. Oh, real time. Hold on. Real time. Real time is nothing. I got nothing real time. And it doesn't even want to end the live stream. That figures. There we go. And now, boom. Okay. That sucked. You have more new followers than 100% of live creators with a similar following. Oh, that's cool. By the way, it finally hit 119,000. That was really interesting. Boom, finally got to 119,000. I'll be dag-nabbed. All right, so that's good. Yeah, I was going to say now we've got some people on here. This is awesome because this you guys, am I pointing directly at the camera? Yes, there. Wait, there. Oh, it's next to. I thought it was on the other side of the camera. I've been looking in the wrong spot the whole fucking time. All right, well, don't I look like a meathead? I just realized I'm wearing a sleeveless shirt. Yeah, I actually do look like a meathead by design today. All right. So, by the way, for those of you who are on here, all 10, 12 of you, it looks like there's even more now. For those of you who are on here, I can talk about what's really going to happen in Europe. And what I said about Turkey and I couldn't talk about it. Oh, I can fucking talk about it here. If Turkey does what I think they might do, because you have to understand, for those of you who have absolutely no interest, none, in listening to President Erdogan talk for an hour in front of the General Assembly of the United Nations, I understand. I didn't want to fucking watch it either, but I did. And it was quite interesting. And you'll never see what he said on the mainstream media. But basically, in a nutshell, I'll sum up. He said, we are a Muslim nation. First and foremost, we're an Islamic nation. That in and of itself is a warning, folks. And then he said, Israel has to stop the genocide. Ooh, that's a strong word from the president of probably the most powerful military in the Middle East. And a member of NATO, by the way. If they get involved in this and they step in and they decide that they're going to stop this war by going after Israel, there is nothing that can stop them. Israel cannot stop Turkey. But by doing that, they would be able to then turn around to every other nation in the Middle East that considers itself Islamic, Muslim, and say, we're in charge now. We are the leaders of the Muslim world. And the reason we are is because we just pulled a thorn out of your side that's been there for 75 plus years. And now they don't exist because of us. And now everybody will stop infighting, period. Iran, Saudi Arabia, they would all fall in line. And Turkey would become a huge economic superpower instantly. Now, they have been purchasing a tremendous amount of gold. Lots and lots, tons and tons of bullion per day. That's not a coincidence. They're getting ready for something just like Saudi Arabia is. Saudi Arabia secretly bought 130 tons of gold from Austria without reporting it to anybody. They didn't want anybody to know. It's a small industry. People find out things. So they got caught. They didn't break any laws. They just simply wanted to keep it quiet. Right now, you pay $4 plus per ounce over spot price to buy an ounce of anything, to buy an ounce of any kind of silver in China. If you're buying 100 or 1,000 ounce bars, you're still paying $4 over spot. That is insane. If I'm selling people 1,000 ounce bars, 1,000 ounce bars, maybe $1 over. That's it. They're spending $4 over. They're paying an enormous premium over there. And the reason they are is because everybody in China is hoarding silver and gold. Most people in China have no capacity to ever buy any gold, not even an ounce of it. But they can sure as hell buy silver. And when 1.3 billion people get a wild hair up their ass to do something, it moves markets. Right now, China is literally sneaking so much into their country We have no idea how much silver they're buying, because what they're doing is they're buying slurry, which is unrefined silver. Now, it's not silver ore, because that shit's hard to ship. It's crushed down and it's almost completely refined. It might be 20%, 30% silver, maybe even as much as 80% silver, but it's not pure silver. So they're buying it at twice the world's set price, and they're bringing it back and they're refining it, and then they're not sharing any of those numbers with anybody, which, that's their right. Sovereign nation, they don't have to tell anybody how much silver they're refining, but we really don't know because they're not telling anybody. We do know this: they used to export it. Now they don't even export it. And they're the number 2 producer in the world. So they're hoarding all of theirs, plus all of the stuff they can get their hands on in South America, plus they're going after the LBMA vaults. They're buying as much as they can from the vaults. Typically, the vaults will have a few billion ounces that are for sale, that are available. And right now they have about 300 million as of last week when I heard about it. This is before the banks took this enormous hit. I mean, the banks got absolutely crushed. As a matter of fact, I believe it's on here. Let me read it to you. This was really, really interesting. Okay, that's not the right button. Pushed the wrong button there. And of course, my phone froze. Jesus. What in the hell is going on here? Okay. Let's go to Okay. Is it? No, it's not in that phone. Okay, so it's not in that phone, which means, because I just bought a new iPhone, did I download it here? Because I might have. If I did, that's pretty smart. Okay. Where is it? Huh. What in the hell? Okay, having a hard time finding this. That sucks. I wonder if they put it in by when the picture was taken. Where else would it be? Shit, I just saw it. Anyway, basically what it said is it said that the banks are in really deep shit right now because they are losing billions of dollars on their shorts. They're getting their asses handed to them. They're just getting absolutely beat to death because they have all of these shorts, and now they're going to have to start covering them. And because they can't do naked shorts to cheat the market's doing what we all knew it would. It's going up. Let's see. Bank abruptly shut down by U.S. regulators in second bank failure of 2024. Okay, we probably want to know about that, don't we? Shut down a bank in Oklahoma, making it the second U.S. bank failure in 2024. The Bank of Lindsay. Okay. It doesn't say what their assets are, but okay, that's not what we wanted anyway. So, let's go to, did I bookmark it? I must have bookmarked it. I started laughing. It was today. I know that. And I just started laughing when I saw it because I thought, oh my God, this is awesome. This is exactly what we talked about. Yeah, no, it's not in here. Okay. Well, so much for that bright idea. But again, banks are getting their asses handed to them for the last few days. And I think that is totally okay with me, because the reality is they need to fail. They need to be allowed to just completely collapse like we know they should. Was it? Shit, I don't know where I saw it. Anyway, All right. Well, I'll find it and it'll be on here tomorrow. All right. So let's see. The first part of the week to purchase silver. Yes. Actually, I believe that there's going to be a pullback. And the only reason I say that is because the banks are not entirely stupid. They know that this is going to cost them billions of dollars. They may try some other means other than a naked short, other than spoofing the market, which is what they're used to doing. But remember, they do have an enormous amount of control over the mainstream media. So I'd be willing to bet that there'll probably be a lot of stuff on CNBC, Bloomberg, all of these different mainstream channels that say, oh yeah, it jumped up because of this one thing, but don't look for that long term. As a matter of fact, it's kind of overbought right now. They're going to be saying that a lot, and it may have absolutely no consequence anymore. It may be complete horseshit and everybody knows it. Nobody gives a damn what they say anymore, in which case, hold on, because we're seeing $65 really soon. If they can manipulate it a little bit, we still don't have to worry. It'll still be 65 soon, but it won't be as soon. It won't be, we could see 65 by the election if this keeps running this way, because look, 7-8% a day. And what's going to happen is, after a couple weeks of this, if it continues to do this, then it will be, oh shit, silver to the moon. Everybody starts to get in, which is great, because if you guys have it, you're going to make a fucking fortune. It's going to suck for me, because basically I will be out of business for perhaps a few months if I can't get silver. And that is going to be the issue, is the availability of silver. Yeah, well, again, did they ever tell the truth? We don't know. We think they did, but who's we? I'm Generation X. The first time I ever asked about anything that had to do with politics that wasn't, George Washington chopping down a cherry tree, or, Abraham Lincoln doing his math homework on the back of a shovel with a piece of coal, all these myths you hear may or may not be true. Who gives a shit? It's to build up the myth of the great men who started this country. That's different. The first time my first experience in politics was when I turned to my grandpa, who was listening to the radio in our Datsun 510 that was brand new at the time. And I said, Grandpa, what's Watergate? And we were driving up the freeway in Seal Beach, California. And he said, well, son, basically it's like this. The president of the United States got caught lying to the American people. And now it looks like he's going to lose his job over it. And I said, the president of the United States lied? And he said, yes, unfortunately he did. And I said, oh, can they do that? And he said, well, they can, yeah. And I thought, wow, I didn't think you could lie if you were the president. Like, I thought that was against the rules. I was, I don't know. This was 73. So I was 8 years old? Yeah, I'm an 8-year-old kid. What do I know about? I thought you had to tell the truth. If you didn't tell the truth, somebody's going to beat your ass. I know when I told a lie, my dad beat the shit out of me. Man, he would really beat the piss out of me if I lied to him. So I thought, wow, the president lied? He's going to get his ass kicked by somebody. Nope. Although I will say this, he spent the rest of his life, basically in shame, very quiet. Nobody wanted to talk to him. And, you look at the same type of behavior in our presidents today, and it's just no big deal. Oh, you broke laws. Whatever. That was back then. It's sad. But anyway. All right. Well, I'm going to eat. And Ray, call me, because I know that you were interested in talking to me about buying a decent amount. So, and I can actually help you with that. I wasn't sure when I was going to be going back and forth and doing all my stuff, but I think our schedules may actually meet up, which would be awesome. I'd love to help you get some silver and do it inexpensively. So if you guys need anything, give me a call, holler tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll be on the live stream. And, keep your fingers crossed. If you're not in silver yet, keep your fingers crossed it goes down a little and then get the hell in. And if you are in, keep your fingers crossed it never goes down again, ever, because it might not.